Fives, the show of everything. Top Fives, presented by the Sex Effects. I'm Joey Parati.
And I'm Sean Day.
And folks, we're in for a musical extravaganza tonight.
Musical, yeah.
Yeah, extravaganzas. It's going to be a good time. But before we get to all the extravagizing, Jonathan, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I am feeling a little bit of pain in my
What are you doing down there? We can't see your hands.
I don't know what this is. My thighs are hurting a little bit this morning or today.
Did you ride a horse or a motorcycle?
No, I actually went skateboarding this last
weekend.
Did you? Yeah, my coworkers invited me to go to the skate park in El Monte, which is just, I don't know, 20 minutes away from where I'm at. And I can't remember the last time I got on a board and probably went to a skate park. So it's been forever.
Nice.
But it was nice, man. Just kind of, cruising around, hanging out with my coworkers, get to kind of get to know them a little more. And yeah, it just kind of brings back kind of the nostalgia of being like a teenager and like skateboarding all the time. And, my brother and I used to skateboard all the time. And I think when I finally started like doing music and stuff, maybe that's when I kind of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. Cause
it's kind of hard to cart all your gear around.
Yeah. That and just try not to break any bones, which I'm glad I haven't broken a bone yet. So but yeah, it was nice and refreshing, and but also, man, I just forgot how much of a workout it is just to kind of be outside for a few hours doing that. So but aside from that, I'm doing pretty good, just trying to get through the week. And yeah, man, just March is upon us right now. I mean, it is on us right now.
It's marching upon us, some would say.
Yeah. So we were just talking off air about, we have my brother and my dad have their birthdays this month. And then, Joey and I and his younger brother, Matthew, have their birthdays in April. So it's going to be another COVID birthday extravaganza.
COVID time birthdays.
COVID time birthdays.
That's okay.
That's not too bad. I can hardly remember what I did my last birthday, but I probably had lots of drinks inside my house. So, but yeah, dude, other than that, I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Joey?
Very nice, dude. I'm all right, man. Friday night, kind of a personal historic moment for me, dude. I have been writing this thing since like October, and I finished it, and I think it's a book, but I wrote it all on my typewriter. And if you're wondering what 450 pages typed looks like.
Dude, what?
So I'm pretty stoked.
Wow.
Walked
That's a
up
lot
to
of pages, dude.
Yeah, I finished, and I walked up the street to Amarena, the Italian restaurant right on the corner here, and got some nice Chianti.
Dude.
So
celebrate, man. That's awesome.
Not bad.
I guess this is your first time writing something this big, especially on your typewriter, right?
Or prose or anything like that. Like I'm a screenwriter. That's what I know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I underestimated and went into this as blindly as I did my first screenplay, thinking, what, it's just a little longer. And thinking like arrogantly, just like, yeah, I could do this NaNoWriMo thing, writing a novel in a month. No. So yeah, it's wild. It's completely different thing, but I think no matter what I do, screenplay, whatever, this going forward, it's at least the zero draft is going to be on a typewriter.
Yeah.
I think I found my like,
way to get it
okay,
out, dude.
yeah, this is it and maybe I'll feel differently once I dive into this thing in a month and start reading it.
Yeah.
But it slows me down. It makes me kind of look around and think about what I'm about to type, and because it's ink on paper, I'm not just pressing backspace all the time,
It's a different process, man. That's actually that's got to be exciting and challenge, like just all sorts of stuff, challenging probably to like, because you got
challenging, but in the right way. Because it's challenging you to to cut and simplify in your head before you just word vomit onto a keyboard. You know what I mean? It's like, like I think about the paragraph, I think about the line as I'm typing, and I'm not always doing that on a computer. I'm kind of just almost stream of consciousness, just kind of letting it all out and constantly deleting, and you know what I mean, like trying things out. I'm not thinking about it, I'm just writing. And here I'm thinking and then writing, and it's, you know what I mean, I find a better result. But yeah, I'm just,
dude,
yeah,
you gotta be proud. Yeah, you gotta be proud, dude. That's quite a lot just to do. And you know, I think that's, I mean, throughout the podcast we've had this, you know, you've talked about your updating us on your book and everything. So it's like, it's cool to like, now this episode we have the completed first zero draft, right? Zero draft.
The zero draft.
That's cool, dude. So what's the next process for you for
to
that?
Not think about it for a month. And I was gonna take a complete time off from writing or thinking about writing or anything like that. But then I got out of the shower the other day and I was like, oh shit, I think I cracked the code on this other one. So yeah.
That's cool,
and I were
dude.
shooting around ideas the other night. It was fun. So it's like, yeah, I think I might have a screenplay next and then come back to this and trade off.
It's good to, I think that's good. I find it similar with like music production. It's good to separate yourself a little bit from like your work and kind of revisit it or come back to it, because you'll be obviously more clear. You'll get to kind of like, okay, this is what I, you know, wrote down, and you kind of in that headspace, I guess. So
it's kind of like you're going through it either with a song or a piece of writing, whatever, and you kind of forget exactly all the particulars, you know what I mean? And you get kind of caught up in the good parts, and your brain starts to go, oh, okay, this is where it's going to go. And then you realize you did something different, and this other way would have worked better. So then, but you would never have thought about it that first time out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I think that's a good way to look at it, dude. Because there's a lot of similarities in all the arts, and I think that's exciting, dude. I honestly think that's, I mean, especially for how long you've worked on it, and you know, having it there in like physical form. It feels good, dude. Feels probably really good.
You know, scripts are about that. You know what I mean? That's about a script, which, you know, that's nothing to sneeze at all. But and I haven't been able to print out my last couple scripts. You know what I mean? I used to have them all. I don't have them right now. They're all digital. So having something like that again is like, whoa.
Dude. Actually, have because I've been organizing my books and stuff, and I have your one of your drafts for LP that I have. Right on. Still have. So I'm gonna probably, I don't know where it is as far as how many drafts you've done, but like it is cool to see that.
15 drafts of that thing.
Yeah, it is cool to see that, and maybe one day when we revisit each other, maybe I'll bring that back to you. You can check it out and see.
Oh man,
compare it to
that'd be wild.
Now.
We don't talk about like the process enough on this show, because we both have processes, and we both, I think, enjoy the process when we're caught up in it.
For sure. Process, man. Process is key, dude, for sure. Man, Joey, do we have any pop culture news? Stuff that's happening in the hemisphere.
Yeah, and it's kind of related to you and your family, and there was an interview that happened. I don't know if you watched it, but I did. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle sat down with Oprah and her cameras.
Heard a little bit of this, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know anything about it, or if you can talk on it, but I watched it, and it was, you know, people are talking about it on the Twitter sphere, and it's, you know, curious your take.
Is it? I actually haven't seen anything on it, really. I probably passed through like an article or something today, I think, but I haven't really dove into the world's news or whatever that is. But yeah, what's going on with this interview? Is
Oh
it
man, well, I
controversial
feel
or
disrespectful even talking about it. Really, I really want to know your grandmother's take. Um, but basically, she talked about how trapped they kind of felt. Harry didn't really see it because he grew up in it. How could you?
yeah,
But she's like, I can't. I was divorced. I've been working since I was 16. I've been an actress. I've been this, but
yeah,
she goes, so you get married and then you don't have your car keys. You can't leave. It's not like you can call an Uber. You know what I mean? If you like, at one point she was like, I wanted to go and have dinner with a friend, and they're like, you're overexposed right now. You can't leave. And
yeah,
she's like, but I haven't been out of the house in a month, and this is pre-COVID. And they're like, yeah, but you were in the tabloids yesterday, so no.
yeah. Fuck, man,
um
that's got to be just a crazy lifestyle to be
and
part
then
of
it
the royal
gets
family.
worse
Oh
because
no,
there's like,
does it?
oh, it gets way worse. Like, they said that the royal family, or people within the royal family, were concerned or about what Archie's skin color was going to be.
Oh, whoa.
Yes. um
Interesting. Okay.
yeah. And they wouldn't name who, although they've confirmed that it's not the queen and it's not Prince Charles. um so yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that's not good, dude. Oof.
No. Or Prince Philip,
That's
whatever.
on
Yeah.
that's on Oprah? Like Oprah interviewed him for that?
It's on
Damn, man.
CBS. I'd give it a watch. I don't usually watch that stuff, but it kind of felt cultural. You know what I mean? I'm not
I feel
watching
yeah.
WandaVision, so I gotta
I feel
make
yeah.
up for it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll check it out, especially after the stream. And yeah, that's crazy, dude.
it's wild, man.
I just can't imagine being part of that lifestyle of royalty and everyone idolizing you in some way or form.
It seems miserable. Like, no part of it seems
Yeah,
desirable whatsoever.
yeah.
Um,
Even like, I mean, it's even bigger than a celebrity. You know what I mean? It's bigger than
mhm.
a movie star. You're obviously royal part of the royal family. Like that's all.
That's your life.
That's your life, dude. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I'm curious. So I'll keep that up there and check that out later.
man. Yeah, I'm very curious what you have to say about it.
Oh
And
man,
more so, I would love to hear what. Maybe we can have your grandma on and we can
you know
talk about
what?
it.
Oh man, you know what? I
Could we
mean,
do that?
we should definitely try to have my
Would
grandma
she
on.
want to do that?
Either way, we should definitely have another episode with her on somehow.
Love that. Would love that.
And
That would be fun.
we'll figure it out if we have to wake up earlier on a certain day or whatever. We'll figure it out.
I'm up at 3. Let's do this.
Joey's up at 3.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Damn.
There we go.
Okay. All right. All right.
That's all I can think about for pop culture news.
Yeah, I can't really. I did finish WandaVision, and I know you haven't seen the rest of it, so I won't say.
I watched the first 4. I started falling asleep on the 4th episode, I think.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think for I tell you what, for Disney Marvel, it's the best move they have right now because they're going to be releasing just a lot of stuff this year. I think, if I'm not correct, I think it's like about 10 Marvel like properties, I guess, or 10 Marvel titles. Or whatever.
Damn.
So,
Well, okay, WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, the
Loki,
What If,
the What If
Loki,
series.
um, the Eternals,
There's the Black Widow
Black Widow,
movie.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, there's like another.
yeah. Is She-Hulk? No, She-Hulk's a ways off.
There's Miss Marvel. I think that's this year. I might be wrong.
Oh, is it with Brie Larson or a different one?
Different. It's the other. I guess the other Miss Marvel.
That might be this year then.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, that is a lot.
It's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
It's a whole lot of Marvel.
So, all bets on I guess for Disney to bet on the kind of streaming platform and their Disney Plus, since yeah, I mean, I think WandaVision was definitely a big show, and I think a lot of people probably even signed on for Disney Plus, I think, because of that show. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was okay. I think I would say, and I think even I watched an interview with Elizabeth Olsen the other day, and she said it's a good tee up for the Doctor Strange movie that's coming out in 2021.
That's the main reason I want to see it, and the only reason I want to see Doctor Strange too is because they got Sam Raimi.
I know, dude. It's so awesome.
If it wasn't for Sam Raimi, I wouldn't be dealing with any of this.
Actually, speaking of, because this kind of goes back to, I think this was last week's episode. I checked out the High Top Films YouTube page.
Oh yeah,
I watched the Batman Forever video.
it's a good one.
Brilliant video. And it's funny because when I watched Batman Forever probably this last year, I don't say I always felt like, oh, there was like this kind of different side to Bruce Wayne and the way he kind of has this kind of emotionless action throughout. I always kind of got that vibe through that movie. So, but it was interesting to see that, like, yeah, that's why he played him that way. And yeah, it was just an interesting take on the movie, and I even appreciate it even more, I think, because of just how, just seeing what obviously the art direction and all the, like, I mean, all the sets and like all the design they put into the movie, it's just so, it's so it just sticks in my mind as far as like a Batman film and just kind of the Batman scene of Gotham, which is super cool. But I did watch I started watching the Sam Raimi, like he did the Spider-Man series too. So yeah, so that I thought that was pretty interesting too. And I'm just getting excited because it's like, oh man, I really loved the Sam Raimi, especially Spider-Man 2, and it's just like having him come back for like a Marvel movie is just like so crazy. So
I hope he knocks out of the park, because I think Oz is the last feature film he did, and
that was, huh?
I turned it off, dude.
Was that bad, huh? Oh fuck. Okay.
Yeah. And did you even see it?
Nah.
So there you go. There you go.
Nah.
But
we'll go support your other movie, Sam Raimi.
Absolutely. Because we got the MCU in it.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we get to some lists, my friend?
Let's do it, dude. List time.
Let's do it. Would you like to go first? Would you like I to go first?
You go first, Joey.
All right. I will. So March is International Women's Month, and yesterday was International Women's Day. And so in that spirit, Jonathan, who are your top 5 favorite female vocalists?
Man, there's so many great female singers out there, man. I have a mixed bag of women from obviously different eras, I would say. So for number 5, I've got Gwen Stefani, man.
Son of a bitch.
Mostly in the band, no doubt, for sure. I always had like a crush on Gwen Stefani when she was in No Doubt, with that kind of.
Yo, I still have a crush on Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, dude. She was like that punk rocker chick. She just like, I mean, she just had so much energy in that band, and she was just a strong front woman and singer for the band. And I don't know, I just really admire her for like, especially bringing that kind of music and that genre at that time to kind of the mainstream. And I kind of found other bands through No Doubt as well, so it was really cool. And especially kind of my earliest memories of like a female singer and kind of like a punk ska band. I never really saw that many female singers like that, so it was really cool to see her in that band. And of course the career she's had is just insane now to this day. So Gwen Stefani, man.
Very nice.
Gwen Stefani. So number 4, I'm gonna take it back. I got Aretha Franklin.
Very nice.
Of course, a lot of people know she sang like R-E-S-B-E-C-T, respect. She's just got just that, just what's the best way to describe this? Like such a empowering voice, very
She got
commanding.
soul.
She's got soul. I was just reading a little bit about her, and she at the time, she was fighting for like obviously civil rights, and she was a big part of the community. She was such a she was a talented singer, but also someone who was reaching out to the community and really connecting with a lot of people. So I admire that about her, and she has just one of those voices that again kind of you could feel the soul coming off her. You can feel all the feeling and emotion from her. So Aretha Franklin for number 4. Oh man,
Wonderful.
This is getting tougher. Another powerhouse singer, and I will always remember her for her rendition of the Star Spangled Banner during the Super Bowl. It's Whitney Houston.
Right on.
For man, again, just can command the room with her voice, and I mean, when you hear that version of the Star Spangled Banner, I've never heard anyone sing it like her. And I don't think anyone can beat her. I mean, I'm saying it's a competition, but I don't think anyone can top like Whitney Houston singing that song, because that's a really challenging song to sing, especially that really high note at the end. So yeah, Whitney Houston, man, and she had a lot of great hits and songs, and she's she definitely kind of I guess similar to Aretha Franklin, she had a lot of feeling and emotion that came from her music and the way she sang. So I admire her for that. So yeah, Whitney Houston.
Love it.
And then we got the bottom 2. I might switch these. Okay, I'm gonna go number 2. It's I would say a fairly new singer that I got into. I found out about her, I think maybe 2 years ago. It's not too recent, but yeah, 2 years ago. Her name is Georgia Smith, and she is I think she's from England, so she's a British female vocalist. She's kind of in the pop R&B genre, but I don't know, man. Every time I hear her sing, she has just such a good voice, and like even lyrically, she's very that's one of her strong points too as well. But Georgia Smith, man, she just kills it. And I watched one of her those like Tiny Desk concert by NPR.
Nice.
And
yeah, those are good,
dude. And it's like when you can see especially for those shows, they're very stripped down, and they don't have that many they just small room, a few musicians in the room, but you could just tell effortless, man, when she sings, and that's when when you have someone who has such a good voice and good control with their voice, but also it can convey it and share that emotion still. So Georgia Smith for number 2.
right on. I'll have to check her out.
And then number 1, man, I always like Alicia Keys, dude.
Yes.
Alicia Keys, man. Oh man, I think I saw one of her Grammy. I mean, she's probably done a few Grammy performances, but I remember seeing one of those performances, and man, just like breathtaking, dude. And actually, I saw another Tiny Desk concert from Alicia Keys. I think she did recently, and man, it's so mesmerizing to watch her, because she's a amazing piano player, amazing singer, obviously a great songwriter, and she just, I don't know, there's just like I don't want to sound corny or cheesy, but she has this glow about her. Funny enough, when I watch her, she just you could tell everyone is just entranced by her music, and I think she's a very strong musician, and she's definitely, I mean, she's still going, man. So I really admire Alicia Keys, and honestly, I kind of want to take some tips from her as far as songwriting too. I think I
She's an amazing songwriter.
Learn a lot from her. So yeah, Alicia Keys for number 1.
It's a very good list, Shawnee.
Thanks, dude.
Right on.
It was really hard because there's a lot of good singers out there, dude. But
A lot of good singers.
The ones that I feel like the ones that really just can make an impact and really yeah, really you can effortless, man. That's all I gotta say. So yeah.
Well, right on. That was
All
a good
right.
list.
I'm kind of curious about yours, Joey.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I got some heavy hitters. We'll see. We'll see. Number five, we're gonna go. We're gonna start off strong with Billie Holiday.
Ooh,
I
okay,
mean,
okay.
that voice will bring you to tears. And the vinyl that I have of hers is a live record, and it's
Oh,
just,
nice.
it's raw, and there's no. This was the 50s, I think, was is when it was recorded, and there's no faking any of that. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no enhancing any of that. And it's incredible, and she lived a hell of a life, and yeah, yeah, it's wild.
Nice,
Her
dude.
voice sounds like a rainy day.
Right.
um you know uh Number four, I had Gwen Stefani. um so instead I'm gonna put Tina, or no, I'm gonna put Etta James.
Oh, Etta James. All right.
Yeah, that
Okay.
it's just,
Yeah, she has a classy voice.
it's
Classy voice.
classy, you know what I mean? It just, and it kind of encompasses uh, an era when you think about it. You know what I mean, or when you hear
Yeah.
it. So it kind of puts you back in time.
Oh, I love that. I love that,
I like it too. I like it
dude.
too. Number three, I had Aretha Franklin, but I'm going to go Tina Turner,
Oh, Tina, dude.
because what's love got to do with it? You know what I mean? Um, and there's a singer that, started back in the day and kept going and kept evolving.
Yeah.
um Her sound kept changing, and as she kept growing and changing, and like the outfits changed throughout the eras, and throughout her attitudes and what she was going through, you know what I mean? So like, I love Tina Turner. She's amazing. She's a fucking icon. um and if you've ever seen, What's Love Got to Do with It, fuck, she lived a tough fucking life. Yeah, Ike
I
Turner's a piece of shit.
I haven't seen it. Is that a documentary or is it a
No, it's a movie. I believe it's Angela Bassett plays her.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Um,
What's love got to do with
it's
it?
I mean, it's sad, it's rough, but it's good. It's very good. Um, yeah.
Nice little Tina. All right.
Number two. This is kind of, you have produced this person. Um,
Oh.
our good friend Alissa Lilia. Um, her album is so good, and I listened to it a lot last year. Not a lot, but and I went to listen to it for the first time this past week, and my fucking iPhone, when I got my new phone, it didn't carry over on iTunes, so I
Oh
gotta like
no.
hook something up and re-download it. But yeah, but anyway, I've been thinking like, damn, I want to listen to that album. It's so good. And I mean, you did a hell of a production on
Dude,
it.
yeah, that was
But
my
it's,
senior project, dude. That was yeah, man.
but dude, it's a good, like, it sounds live, but it has polish, and I mean that, I mean live in the best way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound like overly produced in any way. And it really just kind of lets the songs speak for themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they are such good songs, and she has such an amazing voice. So there's not much more that you need to do other than a microphone, really. But yeah, I
Dude,
love that album, and yeah, she's
shout out
great.
to Alissa.
Yeah,
we I don't know. This might be our Alissa. If you're listening, we want you to record some music with us.
man, how cool would that be? Yeah. Oh my God,
Aw,
Jesus.
dude, that's so super cool, man. Yeah, man, that was my senior project, and Alissa was one. She was obviously so kind enough for me to have her as my project for my graduation and everything. But it was so much fun because I wanted to do that for my project because she was just such a talented singer and songwriter, and kind of like, what I've said with some, my list is like very mesmerizing, and you're just entranced by the music. And I actually haven't listened to that album in a minute, dude. So I might go revisit that and give it a listen. And I think it's still on Bandcamp too, so I might show her some support and listen to it. And
right on.
But dude, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, Romanticism, I believe, is the name of the album. Yeah. Number 1, I'm gonna go Ronnie Spector of the Ronettes.
Ooh. Okay.
I love the Ronettes. Be My Baby is just, it's kind of my whole life. It's amazing. It's so good. I don't know that I have much more to say other than like I love the Ronettes, and I love Ronnie Spector. I love her voice. We covered Be My Baby. I think
dude.
It's on an episode or something.
We'll have to circle everyone back to that if you guys listen to that.
Yeah, but yeah,
dude, good list.
I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
That's a good list. I man, shout out to Alissa, dude, for sure, man. I hope one day we will all cross paths again.
I hope so. Sorry, I got ice in my mouth. Is that
good? I got my cat attacking me, so we're all good.
The show's falling apart at the seams.
Shit.
Ice and cats and
dude,
trucks outside.
Digging his claws at me. All right. Hey,
oh,
buddy.
Man.
Hey. Okay. Hey. Calm down. Yeah, he's like sitting a little behind me. All right, dude.
Oh.
Sorry.
You're good.
He was just like, ugh. I could feel like pinches on my arm, and I'm like, oh no. Joey, my list for this week is kind of
hit me with it. Oh no. Oh, that sounds
dude.
Painful.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by cats now.
Oh, are you okay? Wow, this is live, folks.
He wants just playtime. I think that's what it is.
That's fair. Is it raining? It's raining over here.
Is it raining for you guys? Oh man.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the crazy thing. I'm in LA. I'm probably gonna get the rain like tonight or tomorrow morning, because that's what usually happens when I speak to like my parents.
That's funny.
Before it rains. I'm gonna say Indian style. See hopefully this works. Joey. So my list this week is it's in the musical fashion as well.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about musicians. So musicians you would like to hang out with or would want to hang out with. And you don't have to play music with them too. You could just hang out with them and do whatever you want with them. So yeah, what are your top 5 musicians you want to hang out with?
I'm so excited to talk about this. Like, can't you? I'm like, I've got my happy dance going. I'm like, yes. My list includes both the living and the dead. Just putting that out there.
Okay.
So it's a time travel list as well, I guess. And at number 5, we have Joe Strummer.
Dude, Joe Strummer.
I would love to hang out with Joe Strummer, preferably in the pre-Clash days. I think, when he was just like, on welfare and just like strumming in the in the tube stations and everything. Like I kind of want to know that guy, or at the height of the Clash, like that kind of arrogant asshole kind of, or post Clash hippie strummer, I love Joe Strummer. I'd love to get like a noogie from Joe Strummer.
Dude, I would want him to just sing all sorts of songs, but it's like I don't want to do that while I'm hanging out with him for sure. It would be
maybe around a campfire.
Yeah, actually that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
But
dude, good
Joe Strummer.
The Clash, dude, from the Clash, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Number 4, if I'm looking for a wild, fucked up time, I want to hang with Dee Dee Ramone.
Oh man. All right, Dee Dee Ramone.
I don't know that I want to go down to 53rd and 3rd and like be with him there. And I don't know if I want to like, do other things that he sang about in the songs. I don't know if that I want to hang out or sniff some glue. Probably not. But like, I would definitely want to watch him do those things and like comment like, Dee Dee, you probably shouldn't be doing that. It's cool. Like,
it's cool.
I think that'd be a fun time. I don't know. I'd love to like wander the streets with Dee Dee Ramone.
Yo,
Yeah.
I could kind of picture that right now. That's kind of
Right.
cool.
Number three is an example of like the thing I probably like the most about Monkeys is the lyrics. You know, like I love Alex Turner's, especially the early stuff or the lyrics. But I don't think I would want to hang out with Alex Turner. Um, you know, I have no desire. But Matt Helders, I would
Oh,
fucking
he
go to the clubs with fucking Matt
he
Helders.
seems like a wild
Um,
guy.
yeah, in talent, he's just as fucking talented. He's so good. But you know, and he has that falsetto voice, whatever. We're not talking about his musical abilities. I just think, you know, I'd love to like paint the English town red with Matt Helders. Um, so there you go.
Dude, probably Sheffield too.
Mm-hmm.
His little hometown.
I want to say I heard a story that he was like being arrogant and somebody like knocked him the fuck out outside the club.
What?
Yeah, I want to say that rings a bell, and that's gonna bum me out if that's true. Anyway, number two, Johnny Cash.
Dude,
I would
Johnny
love
Cash.
to just spend time in Cinnamon Hill with Johnny Cash and have him tell stories about the road and what it was like to be at Sun Records with Elvis and Carl Perkins and Jerry Lee Lewis and you know like uh Folsom and you know he was that word you know recantower. I always get that word wrong, can't say it. He was a storyteller, folks.
Oh man, Rock on Tour.
Right,
Rock,
if
or
yeah, I can say it if I'm not thinking about it, but once I start thinking about it I fuck it up.
it's all good. It's
I
all
put
good.
the wrong you know on the wrong syllable or whatever it is. But yeah, God, to spend, you know, even 5 minutes with Johnny Cash, especially later in life, you know, I would love Wild Cash on the road. I would love to hang with that guy, absolutely. But I think I would cherish much more hanging with Old Man Cash,
Yeah.
just
Okay.
sitting around telling stories, actually being a good guy, maybe. You know, yeah, I love Johnny Cash.
Nice, Man in Black, dude.
Number one, and really this has probably shaped us much more than either of us would care to admit. I would want to hang out with Blink 182 pre first breakup.
Oh
We're
yeah,
talking
dude.
Urethra Chronicles, Blink 182. Um, those guys had, you know, we grew up with that sense of humor. If you watch those, please don't watch those old DVDs, and you'll be like, oh God, you guys are fucked up. But yeah, like you know, it was kind of them and Jackass and George Carlin all at the same time, and it really informed a lot of, at least my sense of humor and everything. And um, that would be such a good time, especially like
Dude,
that
yeah.
one DVD or documentary, Riding in Bands with Boys, to be a smaller band on tour with them. You know,
Oh yeah, dude.
how much fun would that be?
That'd
You
be
know,
real fun, dude. Yeah.
um, because they have a lot of laughs, but they're also, or they were also, still are hard workers. You know what I mean? And they expected that of the people around them, which was cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Blink.
Dude, I like that. I like how you kind of, especially everyone in your list, you said kind of a moment in their life that you want to like hang out with them. Like say Johnny Cash a little bit later, you know, in his life, and Blink in this, you know, this certain part of their career. So that's super cool, man. I have a similar one on my list.
Right on. I'm excited to hear yours.
So I got kind of a mixed bag. I got a few musicians that are not here today, obviously, and then some that are, yeah, kind of new. I don't know. So number five, I've got Mr. Jimi Hendrix, dude. I just think he would be such a groovy guy to hang out with. So,
He
especially
would
during
be fucking groovy.
dude, especially during like you know he's you know it's like coming out and playing shows and you know just I mean hearing him play obviously is just, it's just godly. But I think especially in that time of like the 60s, you know, I would be probably sitting there taking some hallucinogenic drug with him or something. I don't know. But
and then you'd be the guy that he was kissing.
Yeah, something like that. And he'll be burning shit in front of me. I don't know. But I just think it would be kind of similar to like Blink. I think like it would be cool to be on like maybe on a tour with him, like be around while he's on the road or kind of traversing around. And then of course I'd probably meet all sorts of other people and great musicians along the way too that were so influential at that time. And just to, I don't know. I mean, I hate to say talk, you know, good music, but I love to talk guitars with him at least, or, you know, something like that. But yeah, Jimi Hendrix, man, for sure. For number 5.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. I've got just such a weird list here. Number 4, this one's kind of recent because I have been watching his streams every now and then. It's my boy T-Pain.
Ooh.
T-Pain just seems like the most genuine, fun dude to hang around. And you could see it on his, he streams on Twitch too as well. And, you know, everyone knows him from his, you know, music and his kind of auto-tune-y style of voice. But he's actually a really talented guy. And he's, he just seems like a fun guy to hang out with. And that's all I would ask for is just to hang out, you know, I don't know, have some drinks or whatever. But, you know, and then get to see, you know, I would say I would be interested in, you know, hearing about his journey in music at least. I know a lot of these are probably gonna be like, I just want to get something educational out of this, but yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's cool to kind of, you know, it's cool to hear the stories of, you know, I wouldn't say success stories, but like, yeah, I mean, how you started, man, and like, you know, your journey pretty much and how you got to where you're at. So I think it'll be really, you know, interesting to talk to him about that and then also have fun at the same time. So T-Pain, that's a random one, right?
No, wonderful.
Number 3, I've got, I guess I'll make this kind of similar to the Blink one. It's a whole band instead of one person. It's a band called Enter Shikari, and I'm gonna tip my hat off to my cousin Tom for introducing me to these guys when I maybe, I don't know how many years ago it was when he showed me the record, but they're a band from England and they're kind of in this, I think they're kind of like electronic alternative rock, I would say, because they combine like different, you know, elements of electronic music and then kind of just really thrashing guitars. But they just all seem like really fun guys. And I think I met their lead singer the last time they toured out here in LA. Cause you know, that's the crazy thing is they're so big out in Europe, but they're not as big out in the United States. And so you know, their shows, yeah, they get pretty packed, but like, they're not like super crazy big venues. So it's great. Cause they're the ones sitting behind like the merch tables and stuff and, you know, that's greeting people. Cool. And they just seem like really fun people to hang out with and, you know, just kind of, I don't know, just go out for a night, you know, for a drink or something. So, and yeah, they've been doing this for like, you know, a few years now. They've released a few albums. So it's, you know, again, I'm curious to hear their journey and, you know, how it's like, you know, kind of, being a band like that. And I think they're still on their kind of independent label too, similar to like the Arctic Monkeys when they were on, you know, Domino Records. So, you know, it's cool. They're doing everything, you know, they're really pushing all the visions behind their music and stuff. So I think that's really cool. And I think, I'd be interested to hear from them about that. So,
that's awesome.
Enter Shikari for number 3.
Very nice.
And I'm doing another flipperoo on this one. So number 2, I put Mark Hoppus. Probably
very fair.
Probably, yeah. That era of Blink for sure. I think what you were talking about, Joey. Like, they just seemed like they were having so much fun.
They actually seem like friends, right?
Yeah, seemed like friends. You know, I think they were even. You know, I think they were just. Yeah, man, just all hanging out and just kind of living in the moment. I seeing some of those like documentaries and some of the footage from Actually, I watched the Mark Hoppus where he was talking about the Self-Titled, when he watched the documentary on the Self-Titled for MTV.
Shout
And
out to Andrew Hopkins for passing it along, passing
thank
it
you,
to you.
Andrew. Yeah, that was really cool, and it was nice and genuine to see like Mark Hoppus like, oh man, yeah, I remember that, like that happening, and you could tell that, you know, music is still an important part of his life, but you know, it's you know, the camaraderie and the, you know, having the band and life on the road, and of course, you know, you have life itself. You know, he has kids and stuff, and so it's just a lot. You know, for, you know, I still think it's a lot to be a touring band. I think that's,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
I'm sure it takes a toll. But I just think when you have a chance traveling the world and hanging out with these goofballs, I think it would be pretty fun. So, um,
I I wanted to ask you about that because there was a part where he talks about them renting a studio just to rehearse in, and
oh
he's like,
yeah,
that's one of the most expensive rooms.
he's like, I don't
And
know
he
why we
like,
did that.
yeah,
That is kind of funny, and I laughed because I think in the beginning of the stream or the beginning of the video, he's like, I don't think I don't think I've seen this footage at all, like, which is kind of crazy because when you think about it, you know, and that is, I guess, the life of a you know, bigger musician is just like, you know, stuff gets shot and put together, but you know, they're just life on the road, you know, still touring and
yeah.
making music, so they probably don't get a chance to stop and you know, see stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool and like interesting to see Mark kind of genuinely like, oh man, I remember this. And then I was like flipping out because they were like, in that documentary, they were like demoing Up All Night. Like the riff from Up All Night is in
Oh yeah.
from that next album they had, and I was like, oh shoot, like, so like some of those ideas were brewing earlier, and they must have like
It's pretty cool.
had it on the chopping block or whatever. But anyways, yeah, Mark Hoppus, man, for sure. He seems like a interesting and fun character to hang out with. And fun fact, I have met Mark Hoppus briefly in my life.
Ah, yes. Where was this again?
At Disneyland. I was at California Adventure, I don't know how many years ago. It was a really crowded day, which is obviously not happening with COVID, but really crowded day. I was walking and I could just see Mark Hoppus coming forward. And usually, from what I know, is with Disneyland, of course, they have like a escort, kind of like someone to kind of take, you know, kind of take the whoever's, I don't know, celebrity or whoever's kind of around. So I immediately was like, there's someone famous there because there's like a person there kind of, you know, moving around. As I got closer, as our paths kind of got close, I was like, oh my God, that's Mark Hoppus. I pass him, and then whoever I was with, I was like, one moment. I just turned around and I was like, yo, and he was with his family, I think. And I just said, you know, hey, Mark, you know, I want to make this quick because I know you're with your family. But I just really, I don't know what I said probably in the moment, but I probably said something like, you know, I really, you know, love Blink-182, and you know, I've been listening to your guys' music for like the longest time or whatever. So very
Cool.
quick, but it was super cool. And he was kind enough to stop and at least, you know, just you know, listen for a little bit. So that was cool.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
Anyways, so Mark Hoppus for number 2, and then my number 1, we did see him in concert, Mr. Sir Paul McCartnney.
Yes.
One of the last Beatles. I mean,
Well, you know, boys, we're gonna try this new thing. It's called microdosing.
like, all right, yeah, sure. No, Paul McCartney, man. Just like, you know, I would say similar like Joe Strummer and like some. I mean, he's got to have just so many great stories about the Beatles, about his, you know, his life as, you know, just as a touring musician, and for so long, and having such an influence on, you know, lots of different bands and other areas outside of music too, I would think. Yeah, I just think, and you know, when we saw him in concert, dude, I was like, just such a, I mean, I've never been to a concert like that where, I mean, he played for like 3 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Every song was just a hit. and he had obviously amazing band behind him. But it's just like it just shows like, damn, dude, this guy, like I felt so blessed and like lucky to see him that day, and to be surrounded by so many different fans, all different ages and generations. So it was quite an experience. So when I thought of that concert, I also thought like, man, that would be super cool to hang out with Paul McCartney for an evening or something, and just, and I think he would be really cool to share stories and hang out with, and I think he might even show me a few things. We'll see. So yeah.
Well, can you go deeper in that? I want to know what few things you're anticipating.
I don't know. Songwriting. I don't know. Something.
Here are the secrets of the world.
All the secrets of the world, Paul.
I still ride a bicycle. How about that? I ride the bus sometimes, I'll
be like, yo,
I've been
to Liverpool before. Yeah, dude.
Have you been to Penny Lane?
Penny Lane? Yeah, dude.
I'm doing that's old Paul.
Yeah.
young Paul is much more like much more surprised.
Dude. Yeah, Paul McCartney, dude. Sir Paul McCartney.
Man, yeah. No, it's a good, yeah.
He would be, yeah. I couldn't think of like anyone else like that would top my list. Because it's just the Beatles, man. Just Paul McCartney, like, and
John Lennon does not seem like a good time.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real about that. Like, he did not seem like, I don't know.
Paul
I'd be like, I don't know if I want to hang out with John Lennon.
Paul seemed more of the like lively out of the bunch, I think. Like,
yeah, I'd hang out with Ringo.
And Ringo too, yeah. If I could do like the Paul and Ringo combo for sure.
I feel like George would be like, "Can you just please be quiet? Can you please stop talking? Can you just stop talking, man?"
Like I could put fanboying aside, but like even if I did kind of fan out a little bit in front of Paul, I think he would be like cool with that. You know what I mean? So
be like, get it out.
Yeah. Kiss the ring.
yes, I'm Paul McCartney. Yeah. Like,
but yeah, dude, that's my homie right there, dude. Paul McCartney.
Hell yeah.
I love that. I love these lists, man. Yeah, man, I feel like we could make this like a top 10 because I just feel like there's so many people would love to hang out with. And even some of the female vocalists we mentioned tonight would be, a lot of them would be
big
really
time
fun to hang out with too as well. So
most definitely.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, Jonathan, do you have anything you would like to share with our dear, sweet, lovely imaginary audience this week?
I watched The Raid the other day.
Yes.
Finally. I thought it was great. Bitch. And very violent. I was just like, dude, this is really violent. But yeah, I liked it. It was a very simple of a story, which I liked, especially, it was definitely action packed. So it had all the beats and moments. And then I finally know what people are talking about with The Force Awakens and that scene where there's Han Solo and those gangster dudes. Apparently, like, two of the guys from the Raid are in that. So, like, I recognize the guys now, and I'm like, dude, why are they not? I'm kind of with everyone else. Why didn't they use those dudes in the movie?
Yeah, they just stand there.
Yeah.
And then did they get eaten or some shit?
Some cool shit, like beat up, not Han Solo, but I don't know. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I also have a movie from last week that we talked about.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maddie, for coming on the show and recommending Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
I thought I had seen Starship Troopers, but I gave it a watch. Like, actually, I watched it that night, so I was up till cool. 1. But it was amazing. It was so good, and I appreciated the kind of preface to watch the movie as a satire of a propaganda film, and it made it that much more enjoyable. And I watched RoboCop the next night, so
nice.
There you go,
dude. Yeah, we're knocking some movies off the list, dude, because there's a whole bunch I haven't seen from last week. So have you seen The Raid 2? Is that Is it the
I
same people
genuinely
or?
cannot remember if I've seen the Raid 2 or not. I
Okay.
feel like I have, but I can't remember.
I'm curious. I'm curious for sure. I don't know much about. I don't know if it's the same people or whatnot. But I saw that was the sequel, so I was like, oh man, maybe I'll check this out.
I'll
But
check
we'll
my
see.
Letterboxd. If I've rated it, I've seen it.
Cool.
If
Yeah.
not, then no.
Man. Yeah, dude. That's all I could think of at the moment. I'm probably gonna watch Coming to America 2 sometime this
Yeah,
week.
I've
Yeah.
heard not so good things.
I heard that too. I talked to my dad before he got on, and I mean, he loves the first Coming to America movie.
Sure.
It's like a classic in our in the Day family, and and yeah, my dad didn't. He said he didn't hate it. I would say he said he said there was a good opportunity to do some interesting stuff, but they brought back a lot of kind of stuff from like the first film, which is understandable, you know, the familiarity and nostalgia of it. But I'm still gonna give it a go and just check it out. And I think it's free
Right
on
on.
Amazon right now, so
Yeah.
I'll check that out and give it a whirl.
Well, there we go. Brilliant. Brilliant that. Um, Jonathan, where can we find your work on the internet this week?
You can find me on Instagram at SeanDayMusic and on my website, SeanDayMusic.net.
Net?
Yeah, that's where you guys can find me. Joey, where can we find you on the internet?
You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Joey Parati and on my website, joeyparati.com. You can check out the show at Top 5 Pod. That's TOPFIVE5POD on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube at gmail.com. And you can check us out on Facebook at Top 5 Podcast. We're on Apple Music, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Anchor, all of them now. So please give us a like, give us a listen, give us a follow, give us your love, and we will give you
so much sextastical. I can't even say it. Oh my god. Trying to make pun on the sex effects. Our band here.
I'm gonna give you one more try. Go for it.
Oh, I can't say it. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh no. Oh no, dude.
Well, we'll give you all that and more in return next week. Until next time, I'm Joey Parati.
And I'm Sean Day.
Thanks for listening.
Ooh, we hit a harmony there. Ooh.
Ooh.